just remember I do appreciate comments and like anything you have to add to the conversation. I think it's important for people to know what other people are thinking. Here we go. Where are my glasses? Maybe he won't know I'm stoned. Hello.
Hi, Brennan.
What's up?
How's it going?
Pretty good. But I needed to hit something, and I didn't want to destroy property either, so I just got so mad. And like now I have these
Can't
like,
you hit a pillow? Can't you hit a pillow?
it's not,
Listen.
you are, I feel like you know the answer to that question, and I feel like you know that I can't
I
hit a
don't know
pillow.
the answer to that. Why not?
Because
Why can't
you don't get the impact. Listen, you don't get the,
What
anyway,
do you mean you don't get the?
like
What
the,
do you mean you don't
like
get
you
the
need to
impact?
feel like you hit something. Anyway, it doesn't matter. What matters is, now I have bruises on my face. Ugh.
Oh, so are you trying to say that makes more sense than hitting a pillow? Is that what you're telling me?
No, but in this,
Okay.
so now that you've mentioned that to me, that might come to mind in a moment if I'm arguing, you know. But like nobody's ever said to me like, when you feel like hitting something, hit a pillow. Because I've always been of the mindset of like not ever being in anybody's way ever, not having any reason to want to hit somebody. Do you know what I mean? Because I was, you know, if I had bullies when I was a kid, I kind of just pretended like it wasn't there. Like I was like because but people didn't legitimately bother me because it's always because I'm like blonde hair, blue eyed, tall. Like they know that like the first thing that's going to happen if anybody messes with me is that like administration is going to be up everybody's ass. So, you know, like it was kind of like that. I was protected just, and I've always kind of felt that way, like protected just because of the way I look. And that's me like admitting to my own entitlement, white privilege,
White
thank you.
privilege.
And so, and I try to like make note of it. Like I notice it. I notice it in ways that I get away with shit. But like I see things like that, and I'm like, wow, I can't imagine like, and I know that it's not something that's okay to do, but I do it anyway, and because I know that I can.
You were saying, how does one not react to their anger in that moment? It's like you need to learn how to control your anger.
No, right. But what I was trying to say is, I need to see an example of a good reaction. I guess I should read that stupid DBT skills book, but like it's so boring.
Mm-hmm.
It's really boring, and it's a really boring book.
Well, you're not going to get better at it if you don't do it, though. It's the thing, right?
Yeah.
You're just going to continue to do what you've always done.
Well, I mean, talking helps better than.
I'm not saying this to come down on you. I'm saying this because I would hate to see you sabotage yourself again.
Yeah.
And that's the direction you're headed, whether you want to realize it or not. You're headed towards self-sabotage right now as we speak.
Yeah.
So until you learn how to do better, you're going to keep sabotaging yourself and your relationships. You're going to push people away. You have to learn how to do better.
And that's the other thing, like, we've had two big fights.
Brandon.
Huh?
Brandon, no one said that. No one said all the time. No one said anything about all the time. But what I'm telling you is when you get into a pattern with somebody, if this becomes part of your pattern of fighting, it will continue to be that way. And typically it will escalate. It doesn't just stay like that. It doesn't just stay flatline.
But I need an example of what to do in the moment.
Read the DBT skills.
God damn it.
And learn the skills.
You know, can't you just tell me one thing? Just like one thing.
I've told you more than one thing. You don't want to listen.
But they don't work.
You
like just stopping, taking a breath.
You don't do them. They don't work because you don't do them.
That is not the whole story.
It's not gonna work if you don't try it.
Yeah. Well, I guess I will read my DBT book more.
Yes.
It's not like I
And
haven't
just in
tried.
the moment, if you're feeling overwhelmed, you need to just say that. Say, Brett, I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm going to go for a walk around the block. And get up and go for a walk around the block. That's one thing you can do. That is one thing. You want one thing, go do that.
Stop
Break
and
the conversation for a moment so you can get out of the space and you can walk and calm yourself down. And you
Okay.
can come back and have a more calm conversation.
Thank you. That's what I needed to hear.
Because when you do that, Brandon, what you have to understand too is when you're in a conflict with someone, it's an exchange of energy.
Yeah.
So when you do that, then he's reacting to you and your energy, and it's not going to go anywhere positive.
Well,
It's just not going to like.
That time to stop the fight, that's for sure. I just needed.
Yeah, stop the fight, but then he's looking at you like, what the hell's going on with my husband?
Oh, but he's seen this. He's seen this 100 times. On random occasions, I'll like slam my head into the like drywall behind my bed, just cause it's very weird.
Don't do that. Well, it's self-injurious behavior.
Yeah, but I just do it because I don't know. I'm bored, I guess.
It's not because you're bored. It's you're trying to self-soothe.
Yeah,
It's not because you're bored.
and that's and oh, I'm so glad you said that because I have that what Dr. Koppel-Perry thinks is like REM sleep disorder, but like I think that I like move my whole body and able to not fall asleep to self-soothe all night. And it's a very weird thing that I'm starting to notice. Like, he thinks it's REM sleep disorder, but I think if I just focused on stop moving, that I'd probably get better sleep. Because I move in my sleep, I've hit bread in my sleep, I've had, like, I know it does seem like REM sleep disorder, and the Klonopin helps a little bit, but, like, I really think that I'm gonna start trying to focus to stay still, because my sleep is terrible.
The other thing is you could try meditation or mindfulness breathing. There's apps you can download. There's ones that are visually guided that give you like a scene to visualize. There's others that just give you a mantra to say.
Yeah, I've used those before. I like the mantra.
So start using those on a consistent basis. Try to do it once a day.
You gotta like switch it up, because like after I've heard it once, I'm like listening again, and I'm just it's so weird. I'm just anticipating the words, and I'm like saying them in my head, and like, who am I? Like, why do I act like this? That's the kind of discussion that I would really like to get into. I know that DBT and CBT are important, but I would like to get into some more.
It's less about why and more about like, what do you want to do to create different behavioral patterns?
Yeah.
That's the bigger question. That's the more important question. You have to do the work to create new behavioral patterns of dealing with your stress and your anxiety and your frustration and your distress tolerance. You need to improve your distress tolerance.
But you don't think that like talking about those things would help me understand and ultimately get them grounded?
We don't know why necessarily. We don't know why.
So I said to my husband, the other day that I think I'm like borderline retarded because I can't sometimes like. I have such a terrible memory, and you know what? Here's the other thing. I have such a fear of developing early onset Alzheimer's, and it's becoming more and more of a paranoia because my dad got Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. So the movements, like the weird movements, like it just makes me more anxious. And
Did he use drugs?
Huh? Not drugs except for the ones I'm prescribed. Did he use drugs?
Yeah.
I mean, he was 40 when he and my mom, 44 when he and my mom married. I don't know anything about his life before that. But while he was with my mom, now he had his
Was he an
cigars that he
alcoholic?
chewed. Not that I recall. I remember once or twice he'd have a beer, but I've stopped drinking really. I mean, I'll have like a glass of wine at dinner. Stop smoking.
It's good, Brennan.
Well, it's just me and Brett had a talk the other day, and he was like, we have to start thinking about our relationship differently. In the beginning, it was just us, but I think he's starting to feel a little lost because of things that are going on in Colombia. He's got two close friends that have contracted COVID now, and he's really scared for them. And he was crying. I was like, why couldn't you tell me that instead of acting stressed out about it? You talk to me about it. I don't understand. He doesn't like me about work, but I think if he talked about it, it would help rather than. I mean, seeing another perspective always an outsider's perspective is always better because it's hard to see what's going on in front of you when you're so close to it sometimes. Um, so Jocelyn, my dear friend from Texas that was 6 kids, has gone to um, Mexico, Tijuana, to have a gastric sleeve surgery. I didn't think it would happen, but there she is. But I'm like super worried about her too because she's got 6 kids and she's in like the new hot spot, right? Like right there in the Rio Grande Valley in Mexico. And I'm like, I really wish she wouldn't go do this right now. Like if it's still gonna be there when all this is over, I don't. Maybe she was afraid she would turn into like legit Chewbacca or something, and like not be able to move. But I didn't think it was, and I think maybe some of it had to do with like because tickets everywhere are cheap right now, even though nobody's really allowed to travel.
I heard that, but then you said something. He went to the Hamptons, or he wants to go to the
He
Hamptons.
said something about the Hamptons, and I told him I would talk to some people at work about getting some time off to go away for just a couple days to the Hamptons, which I think is also like not the best idea, but I just feel safe staying where I am. But and I want to, he's so stressed out about money. He doesn't want to leave the salon. He needs somebody to talk to, and I told him that already. And I was like, here's the numbers that they're giving all over. They're sending me on my phone all the time. Call them. They don't care if you have insurance. They want to talk to you. you know? And also, oh, I probably should talk about this because this is some stress that I'm going through right now. I'm having to deal with HASA again, right? So, like, I'm reapplying for benefits, which is good because um, it could be good or bad because they could cut my rent subsidy in half because I'm married. But he also doesn't have provable income, nor is he a citizen, so he can't make provable income. So it's like maybe they have like some attorneys there that work with that kind of stuff. I don't know. Like they places like that often have random like services that they offer. So we'll see how that all plays out. But I dropped off my paperwork. I talked to my case manager there. I thought my Medicaid had lapsed, but there's something going on with Medicaid and the government and stuff right now. Like I received a letter in the mail that said that my Medicaid was supposed to be terminated on the 31st of July. But then, so I mean, I didn't go to a pharmacy and I wasn't rejected services or whatever. But I read the deadline, so I called Yvette over there and I was like, I need to apply for a ADAP, and she got ADAP on the phone and then called me, and then they were like, we don't know what you're talking about. It says over here he still has Medicaid, and I'm like, okay. So they want me to like go to get some medication, get turned away before they'll like talk to me again.